Hello, my students, my peers, and our future leaders in the yoga room. Thank you for tuning into this video. I wanted to recap a bit of our Friday evening's class and discussion and put it in the context of delivering your yoga class. All right, so this is mostly going to be some tips and advice about how we use our language as leaders in the yoga room. Remember, this is simply my perspective and nothing here is set in stone. But perhaps it'll simply give you something to think about as you move forward on your journey. Now, before we begin, let's consider what we are trying to teach other than just asanas. Remember all those wonderful points from Denise's lecture last night? We're teaching faith, self-control, determination, concentration, and patience. Sure, you can memorize the dialogue and say it verbatim, word for word, and that'll work. But here are some thoughts about delivery that can help enhance our communication with our students. Now, I have heard throughout lectures, throughout our teacher training, that people tend to be generally lazy and it's our job to give them a push. While I don't agree with this entirely, I can't deny that there is also some truth to this. We've all had our moments in class where we're out in outer space, or we have limiting beliefs about our strength and capabilities, or we're distracted by something. We hear our teacher call our name, and immediately we arrive back to planet Earth in the moment in which we belong. Here we are teaching concentration and self-control. But even before you're ready to give corrections and call students by their names, here's some advice I have to deliver this message with compassion yet firm leadership. Be strict on keeping your students together. It doesn't matter how far they go into the posture or how many different skill levels are in the room, but it does matter that the class is moving like a unit. It's not because I said so, but because this is a group moving meditation. It disrupts that crucial aspect of the practice if the students are moving ahead or lagging very, very far behind. Now, don't be discouraged as new teachers when this gets a little disrupted, because trust me, the smoother you can deliver your commands, the smoother your students are going to be. When you first begin teaching, your timing won't be perfect, but don't worry, I'm going to help you with that too. And with practice, it'll be second nature. That being said, as you do perfect your dialogue delivery, this is a place where you may, and by all means, show a little tough love and be firm. How can you do this and gain a positive response without humiliating someone? Tell them why. You can tell them, this is a group meditation. If you are moving ahead of me, that is a physical reflection on your mind predicting. We are training our minds to be in the present moment. Even if you've done this a million times, you must resist the urge to think ahead. Turn off your mind. Let my words do the thinking. This is a group moving meditation. If you're moving ahead, it gives us all an opportunity to be distracted. The energy works best when synchronized. We build strength in the mind in numbers. I often like to say things like, stick with me or stick together. This kind of language builds camaraderie and respect. It's okay to be playful here too. Hey, wait for me, or where are you going, or no student left behind. You can be a little silly with it. Being strict on moving together in the setup and the exit of the postures is a great way to convey your lesson of discipline, self-control, and concentration, all while being compassionate and fair. Next, I wanted to recap some of my words on asking the students to move further into postures. There's a few reasons I take this approach. First, it keeps me safe as an instructor from pushing a student physically in a negative way. It gives me a better opportunity to be compassionate to what this student is experiencing in their own body. I can still push them, and you guys know me, I push the shit out of you, but if I ask, I'm doing it with my students' consent. Again, this style of teaching is a direct contradiction from Bikram's original school of thought. However, I believe this approach teaches students determination more effectively, along with introspection and faith in oneself. In very physically demanding postures, which, hey, most of them are, let's use standing head to knee, for example. I deliver my words by asking, can you bend your elbows down? Can you straighten your leg even more? Can you get your forehead to your knee? If the answer is no, I can say, that's okay, keep trying. If the answer is yes, I have an opportunity to cheer for them. Yes, you can. You did it. And doesn't it feel good to hear that sometimes? Now, whether the student completes the command or not, you have an opportunity to connect, to positively reinforce, and to make this a dialogue, which is meant to be between two people at least. If it was just you talking, that's a monologue. As I mentioned before, if you tell me to do something, I will most likely respond with an attitude or even rebellion. But if you ask me to do the same thing, chances are I'll happily do whatever you want. Finally, I want to remind you all, as you are finding your voice, think about the class that you want to take. That's the class you want to teach. I like compassion, I like discipline, I like humor, I like consent, and I like camaraderie. Maybe you like a smooth, soothing voice. Maybe you even like a drill sergeant. There's no wrong answer to who you are. Marilyn Monroe said, you can be the juiciest peach in the world, but not everybody likes peaches. Your job isn't to be everyone's favorite teacher. Your job is to authentically show students how to heal themselves. That's why I also like to say, I'm not your teacher, I'm just your guide, which goes right along with one of my favorite Denise quotes. When you look into the mirror, you look into the eyes of the greatest teacher you'll ever know. But you know what? I promise you, if you're aware of what you're doing and how you're doing it, and you're authentic and you're genuine, you will absolutely be almost everyone's favorite teacher anyway. I hope this was helpful. I hope you dug it. I also typed it up. I'll send it to you if you like. Cheers, and we'll see you tomorrow.